caught me foliar fertilizing my plants. Anyway, let me show you some of the plants that's living in my modest little balcony. Have a look at this. That's my pride and joy, my string of hearts. It's so unruly that I have to tie it in a ribbon, and that's how long it is. Growing amazingly. And that is my Hoya curtisii. This plant doesn't do very well in my balcony, but it's coming along. It's coming along. In Malaysia, we call this bakawali, but this is the curly bakawali. When I bought it, it was like small like this, and in 2 years, look at it. Such a beautiful plant, isn't it? I love the curly leaves. Ah, my Monstera Thai constellation. Well, aren't I happy? A new leaf is popping out. Finally, it's been 7 months, okay? It's been 7 months since you gave me a new leaf. And this plant, okay? So now it's reduced to this state because this plant, the Alocasia macrorrhiza, is quite finicky. I don't know whether it's because it's in my balcony, but it goes into dormancy and then it pops out again, goes into dormancy and pops out again, and so now it's in this state. 2 leaves, well 3, one is withering. There's another Alocasia. This is a cultivar called Simpo. This is my current favorite plant. Just look at how beautiful the leaves are, and you would never believe what this is. This is actually an heirloom sweet potato plant. But look at the dark leaves. So beautiful. It's easy to grow. This one, doing very well actually. Climbing up my bamboo plant. This is the Sigonium albo, variegata. And right here, I have a jewel orchid just hiding beyond here. Ah, this is the baby that I've been growing. Look at how big it is. This one I grew from stem. So I have 2 plants in here. Both I grew from stem. Growing very, very well indeed. That's my latest leaf. Quite big, huh? This is Anthurium clarinervium. So I'm potting this up for a friend. That's my Peperomia Hope. It's just growing longer and longer. I've poked some of it back into the soil. What else? It's my prostrata, Peperomia prostrata, just hiding inside there. I cannot imagine why, but they grow quite well in low light situations, and the prints on the leaf come out very well in low light. And I have another Anthurium here. This is a clarinervium. Sorry, this is a crystallinum. I bought it as one plant some 3 years ago, and it's given me a few more babies in there. Guys, do you remember the gloriosum that I chopped down because it was infested with cockroaches? So these are the babies. These are growing up from the stem now. The stem that I chopped off. That's one there. Okay. So this is one growing quite well. And I do have another one. See? I also have one more which is inside the house. So I have actually 3 pots of gloriosum from the old plant I chopped down. So now they're growing up again, which is great. Okay, this is an Alocasia melo. Now this plant somehow does really badly in my balcony. It always gets infested by root mealybugs. I had one lovely plant die on me because I didn't see the mealybugs in the root. So this is the second plant, and it also kind of died on me, but now it's growing back, which is fine. But I do have some tubers inside there, which I collected from inside the substrate, and I popped them up higher, surrounded them with sphagnum moss, and now they're growing. Can you see? Okay, this is my other pride and joy. String of hearts seem to do really well in my balcony. Look at how long it's grown. And then I have half of it over this moss pole. And it's growing all the way down there, so I don't know what to do with it. And I actually have a few strands stuck itself in the moss pole in my Philodendron melanochyrsum's moss pole. So this baby is doing really well. If you remember me showing you this, my custom-made basket, so that I can accommodate 2 of the vines. This one is a new leaf, really weird color new leaves, but growing very well. I'm not complaining. If you guys have been following me, you know that this one actually grew up all the way and stuck itself on that wall there, but then in the middle of the stem it rotted, so I had to cut it. So this is where I cut it. This was where it rotted, so I had to cut it off. But look at how robust it is now. It's giving me 1, 2, 3 new stems, really thick stems, really hardy plant. So I have now 3 heads. But one thing is, the leaves are growing really big. Look at that. This is supposed to be the small form, but looks like it's not small anymore. But really nice, isn't it? Give you a far shot of it. So it's getting bushy up there because there are 3 heads. So now I'm waiting for it to go all the way up again. I'm talking about up. Aha! My philodendron micans sitting up there, stuck on the ceiling, and if you can see all those dark dots, it's because of the foliar fertilizer. I've been spraying it up, and it's not a very nice sight, but you will never see this in my Instagram photos because I remove it. But this is how it looks like for real. There is my Philodendron Brasil growing up the wall as well. And the leaves are looking significantly bigger. Really happy with the new leaves. Look at how big it is. And the markings are really beautiful. Now this is a very easy peperomia to have. It just grows and grows. Really happy with this. That's my Philodendron tortum. And I also have a hybrid here. This is a crystallinum hybrid. So this is my Philodendron warscewiczil, which took me a long time to find, and finally a friend found it for me in Ipoh, which I'm so happy. It's giving me a new leaf now. I'm just waiting it to serrate. I think because there's not a lot of sun in my balcony, end of the year, so I don't get a lot of sun here, but it's getting sunnier. So as it gets sunnier, I hope the leaves will serrate into this lacy looking signature leaf that is the warscewiczil. And I have a Burle Marx here, variegated Burle Marx, Philodendron Burle Marx. Some of the leaves are really nice, some not so. So I'm just wondering if the marks become more prominent as this plant grows larger. But I got this as a cutting, very small plant, but this plant just grows and grows. It's crazy. This plant, this is a philodendron crazy plant. Look at how many, I don't know if you can see this. Wait, let me get you to the sun. I don't know if you can see this, but they can actually give out many spikes at the same time. That's why it grows so quickly. Many spikes at the same time on just one vine. I always jokingly call this the philodendron weed, because it just, look at all the new spikes coming out. So many, offhand I can see at least eight new spikes. They just come out from everywhere. This plant I had for a long time. It's a Dischidia. Is it a Dischidia or Dischidia? Can never pronounce this right, but growing pretty little flowers for me. Look at that. This is another Alocasia macrorrhiza, but this is the black stem, as you can see. I don't know what's with this plant, but it burns or it browns very easily. Like in a few days it browns already. I don't know, it's because there's not enough sun in my balcony at the moment, or it's because it's not big enough. But doesn't stay pretty for very long. That one stays pretty for longer. Oh, there's one thing I want you to see. Hang on. Okay, check this out. Let me remove my tripod. Check this out. Do you remember this plant that I cut down? Cut down all the way. Now it's grown back, and guess what? Look at all the variegation that's come back. So this plant really works this way. When you lose the variegation of this peace lily, this is a peace lily, Spathiphyllum, wallisii, you just cut it back down. I usually do that, cut it back down to 1 cm from the substrate, and just let it rejuvenate itself, become a juvenile again, and that's when all the variegation will come back. Look at that. Look at that. I even have a new baby. Look at the new baby. The babies are always prettier. Look at that. That's a new one. The first time when this one gave me babies, it gave me 3 new babies. I chopped it down and I let it regrow, and then I dug it up and I gave away 3 of the babies. I kept one, which is this one, and now this one's given me a baby. So cool, isn't it? Okay, finally, hiding here is the Philodendron verrucosum. If you remember, I've given it a taller moss panel, so now it's got more space to grow up. It's doing very well hiding under here in the canopy of my thigh constellation, so I have no complaints. I have actually 2 little melanochyrsum babies here, which I'm gonna let it grow a little bit bigger, and I think I'm gonna sell them because I don't need so many melanochrysums. I've got this big one here, so I can actually sell the small ones. And then this is a little silver dragon, Alocasia silver dragon, that a friend gave me. It died down into a bulb, and I just left it in there, and now it's growing back, which is great because the silver dragons now are so expensive. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed the short tour of my modest little balcony. It's the end of the year, so that was also my stock check of my plants. I will see you again in another episode. Oh! I have evolved the channel into a larger spectrum of things that I want to post because I want to share my other passions as well, which is decorating and DIY and art. So I hope you will support me in that side of my passion as well. But I will of course continue posting plant videos. But on top of that, I would love to share my art and my DIY projects as well. Okay guys, I'll see you again soon in my next video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and please give me a like if you've enjoyed this video. See ya!